Hello children, in this video we will do next part of networking fundamentals. Getting access to the internet. How we can get access to the internet? To use the internet you need an internet connection. Internet connections are provided by internet service providers such as Bharat Sanchar Nigam Limited, that is BSNL, Airtel, MTS, Vodafone, Tata Docomo, Jio, etc. So in order to use the internet, you have to take services from the internet service providers. These are the companies which provide the internet access to the users on the basis of some amount, right? Now next we have internet service provider. Now what is internet service provider? An internet service provider or ISP is an organization which provides you with access to the internet via a dial-up, using modem, or direct hardwired or wireless connections. So internet service providers are the companies which provide the internet access to the users by the different ways. By the dial, they can provide you the dial-up connection, or they can also provide you wireless connection. Next, the term is modem. Now, what is modem? A modem is a device that converts digital computer signal into a form analog signals that can travel over phone lines. It also reconverts the analog signals back into digital signals. The word modem is derived from its function modulator and demodulator. So when you take internet connection by the wire, or you can say when you have wired internet connection, you connect, then you need a device that is called as modem, which is connected to your system, right? Now what is the function of the modem? Function of the modem is to convert the digital signal. You know that computer always work with the digital signals, right? So the function of the modem is to convert the digital signal to the analog signal, and then again conversion of analog signal to the digital signal. Now when the signals are transferred from computer to the telephone lines, okay, they need to convert from digital signal to the analog signal, because in telephone lines the signal travels in analog form, and but in computer they are used in the digital form. So it is the function of the modem to convert digital signal into the analog signal before sending them to the telephone lines, right? And this process is called as modulation. Okay, when the signals are received by the destination computer, by the receiver, again it is the function of the modem to convert analog signal to the digital signal, because computers only work with the digital signal. So again it will convert the signals from analog to the digital, and this process is called as demodulation, right? Okay, so modem is the device which converts digital computer signal to analog signals, which travels to the telephone lines, and when the receiver gets these signals, again modem converts analog signals to the digital signals so that they can be used by the computer. And the process of conversion of digital signal to analog is called as modulation, and analog to digital is called as demodulation. That's why modem is also called as modulator or demodulator, right? Now we have the types of internet connectivity. There are different types of internet connectivity available today. It can be widely categorized into wired and wireless access. So you can have the internet connection, either the wired internet connection or the wireless internet connection. So first we have the wired internet connections. It includes dial-up, DSL, that is digital subscriber line, cable internet access. And in wireless internet connection we have 4G, that is fourth generation, Wi-Fi, wireless fidelity, WiMAX, worldwide interoperability for microwave access, right? Okay, so here we will get to know about these signals these internet connections one by one. First we have the wired internet connections. Now the first one is dial-up connection. This type of connection uses a modem and a telephone line to connect to the internet. Okay, so this uses telephone line and the modem to connect to the internet. The user dials a number provided by the ISP to connect to the internet. So in dial-up connection, the user dials a number which is provided by the internet service provider. Okay, and after dialing, the ISP internet service provider connect connect to the internet, right? Using dial-up connection, we cannot access the internet and talk over the telephone line at the same time. So if you are using the dial-up connection, right, you cannot use the internet and the phone at the same time, right? Okay, the dial-up connection are extremely slow, and in most cases it is replaced by a high speed connection such as DSL, right? We used to use dial-up connection um, earlier. Now we don't use dial-up connection because it's very slow, and it has a drawback that when we use the internet we cannot use the telephone line, right? Okay, and we get this with to the by the telephone line. Okay, now next we have DSL. DSL stand for digital subscriber line. It is always connected to the internet, so we do not have to dial up to connect, right? So in case of DSL, we are getting the connection with the help of telephone lines, but we know here we are not dialing any number to get the connection. We are always connected to the internet, right? It uses an ordinary telephone line and a modem to connect to the internet. It carries both voice and data over a single wire. So what is the use of DSL connection? We can use the internet as well as we can talk over the phone while using the internet, right? Next, we have the cable TV network. It uses the cable TV line for data transmission. It shares the coaxial cable that we use to watch TV without affecting TV's performance. So, in case of cable TV network, we are getting the internet by the telephone lines, and you know that the telephone lines are we get the telephone connection. Sorry, we get the television connection by the coaxial cables, right? So here we are getting the connection by the coaxial cable, that is TV cable TV lines, right? Next, wireless internet connections. First, we have the satellite. In this type of connection, a user get access to the internet through a satellite that orbits the earth. Internet content is uploaded and downloaded via a satellite dish installed on the rooftop of a user. So here, as we get the television channels with the help of the with the help of uh, with the help of the dish. In the same way, here we can get the internet connection with the help of the dish. Okay, and we are getting the connection by the satellites, right? Then we have Wi-Fi. Short form for wireless fidelity is a wireless technology that allows a wide range of devices such as PCs, laptops, cell phones, and PDAs to communicate with one another. A Wi-Fi network consists of a broadband internet connection that is connected to a Wi-Fi router. Okay, so we get a router, and most of the time you have seen a router is provided by the internet service provider to get the internet connection, right? Okay, so what it is telling you, the router is attached with the help of the cables, right? But the router is a device which spread the signals in the air so that you can get the wireless connection, right? The router establishes a wireless connection with multiple devices in its range by sending and receiving high frequency radio waves, right? So it transmit the radio waves and we get the signals with the help of the waves, right? Although router is attached to the internet service provider with the help of the cables or the wires, right? Then we have the Wi-Fi hotspot. A hotspot is a venue that offers Wi-Fi access. So Wi-Fi hotspot is the place where we get the Wi-Fi access. Then we have WiMAX. WiMAX stands for Worldwide Interoperability for Microwave Access. WiMAX can be used for setting up wireless MANs up to a range of 30 miles. The internet connectivity to an end user is provided through microwave link between the tower and the user endpoint. So WiMAX is what it is providing. It is a large area which is providing you the internet connectivity, right? Or you can say WiMAX is a wireless communication standard designed to provide mobile broadband connectivity across the cities and the countries through a variety of devices. Fine. Then we have data transfer on the internet. How the data is transferred on the internet. Okay, so at the source computer, the message or the file or the document to be sent to another computer is firstly divided into very small parts called packets, right? At the source computer, the message to be sent is first divided into small parts, and these parts are called as packets, right? Each packet along with data also contains sender's address, receiver's address, and the packet number, right? Each packet contains the information of the sender's address, okay, the user which is sending the message, receiver's address where it should go, and the packet number, right? All the packets are then sent to the address of the destination computer, right? All the packets are sent by the sender. Then each packet is sent from one computer to another until it reaches its destination. What happens? What happens? Each computer on the network checks for the address and decide whether to keep it or let it go to the other computer. Okay. All the packets of the data may not take the same route to reach the destination computer. Fine. Okay. The destination computer receives the packet in random manner. It may even receive packet number 10 before packet number 1 arrives. If a packet is garbled or lost, it is demanded again. So at the destination computer, all the packets arrives in random manner. It may receive the packet number 9 or packet number 8 packet number before packet number 5, right? Or packet number 6, right? Okay, the packets are reassembled in the order of their number, and original message or file or document is obtained when all the packets reached to the destination computer. They are reassembled, okay, according to their numbers, and then the original message is obtained. Fine. And all this is done within a second, so it is very fast, very fast.